Welcome to Your Health, your television and online source for veteran medical and health information from the Phoenix VA healthcare system. I'm your host, Paul Coupeau, and today we're going to see how the Million Veteran Program is building a genetic database that will help predict medical problems before they happen, and we'll find out how you can get involved in helping your fellow vets. Then we'll meet with a returning warrior and learn about her experiences both overseas and at home. Later, we'll look at what programs Phoenix VA offers our homeless vets to help them get back on their feet. Dr. Sam Aguayo is our Chief of Research here at the Phoenix VA. We sat down to talk about the benefits of the Million Veteran Program and how you can both help your fellow vets and how the Million Veteran Program can help you. Thanks for being with us today, and please tell us about the program.
Hi, Paul. The Million Veterans Program, or MVP as we know it, is the largest, most ambitious research study from the VA. The Department of Veterans Affairs has embarked on this collaborative study to develop the world's largest medical genetic database. So the only question that we are pursuing at this time is what is the role of genetics in people being vulnerable to certain diseases, and what is also the possible role of genetics on how people respond to different medications. This is a partnership between the Department of Veterans Affairs and the veterans themselves, especially the Vietnam veterans who really advocated for the creation of this study. The main goal is to enroll no less than 1 million veterans, hence the name the Million Veterans Program, for a study that requires only one-time visit. After reading a consent form, they present, fill a questionnaire, and then give us one sample of blood. From the sample of blood, which is stored in a place in total confidence with no markings that can identify the patient, we can get all the information we need about the genetics, the inheritance of that patient. From the medical records, we then learn all of the pertinent clinical information that is associated with that genetic information. The patients themselves fill a medical questionnaire for us that is also very helpful. And finally, they give us permission to contact them again if it were necessary to answer any questions, clarify any questions, or to determine whether they will be interested in participating in other research studies. Right now, there are approximately 50 VA medical centers enrolling patients. We expect a few more to join the effort. And in our quest to enroll 1 million veterans, we are already, after a year and a half, at about 150,000 veterans enrolled. Here in Phoenix, we surpassed the 4,000 veterans enrolled mark just this week.
Wow, that sounds very aggressive.
Have you enrolled, Paul?
No. After a veteran enrolls, and assumingly once you reach the million veteran mark, how is all of that data used?
We will reach the 1 million veteran mark. The progress is going very well. Let's assume you are an investigator interested in learning what is the role of this specific gene, these families that have this gene, in making you more vulnerable or less vulnerable to develop diabetes. That type of question today will require studies that need 10,000 or 20,000 patients. And if you do each one of these questions alone by themselves, each study will take 8 or 10 years at a cost of millions of dollars. With MVP available, when you present the question about the role of this gene in the inheritance of vulnerability to develop diabetes, then all of the samples and the information, medical information, is already collected. Once you get permission and you get the samples and the medical information, it may take you a year or a couple of years at a very low cost compared to what it could have been. The main purpose of MVP is to benefit the health of our veterans. But it is envisioned that it will be also an open source to the public. So other institutions, including throughout the world, may have used to improve the health of the public by using the MVP genetic database.
Okay. Well, as you got the information out of me, I have not enrolled yet, but I want to, and I'm sure there are other veterans out there as well who would like to participate in this program. How do we enroll?
It's a very simple process. Most veterans are being contacted from central office through a letter of advertisement that has been approved by our central IRB. And in response to that letter, you get then the opportunity to set an appointment at whichever VA medical center is that you're enrolled for care. Whether that is in Arizona, Michigan, Florida, it doesn't matter. When you go to the VA for that appointment to enroll in MVP, it only takes 15 to 20 minutes at the most, the whole process. And again, this is a voluntary effort. So at any time that you have any questions, that you're not satisfied with the information, you may either stop the process or you may also withdraw from participating in the study. It's totally anonymous, the information is totally confidential, and it can never be used to discriminate against you because of the information from this study. There is no way to link the information to you.
This sounds like a really valuable program. Thanks for coming in and talking to us about it and letting us know how our veterans can help the community and their fellow veterans.
Thank you, Paul.
Next up, our Army veteran volunteer reporter Christian Normandy meets with our Phoenix VA supervisory recreational therapist Lynn Hamble to show all of us how we can get a great cardio workout while sitting in a chair.
As a National Guard or Reserve member, you served your country. Now let VA serve you.
I wouldn't be here today as a successful woman without the help that I receive.
Your VA honors your service by providing a wide range of veterans benefits. From home loans to job training, VA benefits can help with some of life's toughest challenges.
What's important about VA benefits is they don't just touch you as an individual. They can touch your parents, maybe your grandparents, your child.
Go to benefits.va.gov/guardreserve to learn more, including how to apply online using e-benefits.
I just finished a master's degree recently, and now I'm working on another degree as well. So the military made that all possible. My veterans benefits made that all possible.
No matter what the time is, apply for your benefits. You earn them. VA is ready to help you.
Achieve your next mission. Learn about and apply for your VA benefits today.
Well, thank you for bringing the chairs. It's good to take a second to relax.
Oh no, we're going to exercise today.
Exercise from the chair?
Absolutely.
All right. This should be interesting.
Yeah, you don't realize we're going to do some cardio chair exercises today, and a lot of people don't realize they can get a very good cardio workout sitting down in a chair. And this is really important because a lot of people have knee injuries or have hip injuries. They can't go outside and walk. They can't ride a bicycle anymore. So you need to do some cardio because cardio is what gets your blood pumping. It works your heart, works your lungs. It also burns calories. Okay. So it's really important to be able to do some cardio. The other thing is living here in Phoenix, it's getting 90 degrees. It won't be long before it's 100, 110, and most people need to be able to exercise in air conditioning. This is a great, fun way to do it.
No excuse not to, right? If you can do it from a chair, okay. And this is for anybody can do cardio from a chair.
Anybody can do cardio from a chair.
Okay.
Absolutely. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, first thing we want you to do is it's really important to have some good sturdy chairs. Okay. You don't want to ever do this on a chair with wheels. Right. You might go rolling. Yeah, that wouldn't be very healthy. But you do want to definitely do it with a chair, a nice sturdy chair. Okay. Now, when you get out on your chair, instead of sitting with the back support, as soon as you come out and release that back support and tuck in your stomach, you're actually now activating your core. Okay. Your core muscles are your spinal stabilizers. So they're what's supposed to protect your spine. So you want to activate those so that your spine doesn't move around.
So you should feel a little tightness, a little tension,
you should feel
right?
a little tightness.
Okay.
So it's really important to do that.
Okay.
So you can exercise and do this to different types of music. Mm-hmm. You want to make it fun. The faster the music, the faster you go. Okay. So.
And you're limited only by your own pace.
You're limited by your own pace. Okay. You know, you do know anytime you do cardio, anytime you do exercise, you should always check with your doctor, especially if you have heart problems. And while you're exercising and doing cardio, if you feel shortness of breath, dizziness, lightheadedness, chest pains, you should immediately stop and go to the emergency room. Okay. Okay? That's a good idea, yeah. So what we're going to do with the cardio is we're going to start moving our legs. Okay. So you're going to move your legs. Now, if you can't move your legs, a lot of our veterans that exercise here can't get their knees and their hips up, so you can just move it like this. Okay. You can move it low. But the higher your legs go, the more calories you're burning because you're having to lift them at a higher rate. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go at a little fast pace, but you can go slower. Okay. We're going to keep the legs moving, and then we're going to start our arms. Okay. So let's put them up like this. And this is my favorite because get those arms up there, Christian. The higher you go, the more the workout, the more calories you burn.
It's like climbing.
Okay, so ready? We're going to mix it up a little bit.
All
Let's
right.
roll it. Keep the legs going. There you go. Let's pick up the pace. Is that stomach core? Is that stomach activated? Okay, go
Concentrating
backwards.
on keeping my core straight.
Okay, very good. Make sure you're breathing.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Let's do windshield wipers. Yeah. You could sing.
I'll let you do the singing if you want to sing.
All right. How are those legs feeling?
Good, good. I feel it burn a little bit. And
Okay, let's hammer.
of course, if somebody walked by you doing this in office, it could warrant a few laughs.
Okay, let's go up again. Good. Sweating yet?
Yeah, feels good.
Okay, let's come out.
So you just have fun with it. Just stay moving, keep those legs going.
That's right. You can do it as long as you can, and the body will adjust. So if today you can only do 3 minutes, then in 2-3 weeks you'll probably be able to do 5 minutes.
And 3 minutes certainly feels like a long time, I bet, doing this.
I bet it is. Okay, let's go up. Let's take a swim. The other thing we're doing is by moving the shoulders, moving the body, you're getting some good range of motion. Your legs are slowing down.
Oh yeah, I'm getting tired, I'm getting tired.
Good job, let's hammer. All right, good job. Give yourself a hand.
Yeah.
Good job.
Whew, that was good, that was good. I felt that. 4 minutes would be a very long time.
Cardio you're supposed to do for 20 minutes. So can imagine doing that for 20 minutes.
20 minutes a day?
No, National Institute of Health recommends 2.5 hours a week of moderate, vigorous activity for adults.
Okay. What defines cardio? Is it a certain heart rate level you have to get to a certain beats per minute?
No, different people will work at 50%, 60%, 70%, 80% of their max heart rate. So just whatever works for you. Just get out moving.
So all you need is a chair, an air-conditioned building, and you can still get a great workout in.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you very much, Lynn.
You're welcome.
Hello, I'm Sharon Hellman, Director of the Phoenix VA Healthcare System, and I wanted to thank our veterans tuning in for all the sacrifices you've made so we could have a safer life. We have a sacred trust with those who have worn the uniform of the United States of America, and we could say thank you every day, and it'll never be enough to honor your service. Everybody celebrates when a war is won, but people may forget the soldiers, the sailors, airmen, Marines, and guardians who have sacrificed so that this country could be safe. The nightmares from war don't always end when military members return home, and we're working hard to meet the needs, those physical and mental needs, of our veterans. The staff here are determined to address your healthcare challenges, and you've made us so proud, and the staff of the Phoenix VA Healthcare System salutes you. We are honored that you trust us to provide your medical care, and we thank you for your service to our country.
Up after the break, we'll introduce you to a fellow vet and learn about her experiences both overseas and back here at home.
Sergeant Michelle Garcia served meritoriously in Iraq and has the medals to prove it. Soon after leaving the Navy, Lieutenant Chris Scott found a job, a home, and started a family of his own. Corpsman Richard Stokely took the skills he learned in Vietnam and put them to good use as a paramedic. But soon after leaving the military, each of these veterans fell on hard times and faced homelessness. Even after Michelle lost all her savings, even after Chris wasn't able to pay his mortgage, and even after Richard battled alcoholism for years, they each reached out for help when they needed it most. A simple phone call put them in touch with a trained professional from the Department of Veterans Affairs. That call got Michelle a place to stay until she could afford one of her own, put Chris in touch with employment assistance, and found Richard a substance abuse program. These veterans are success stories not only for how they were able to help others while serving their country, but for how they were able to let others help them. If you know of or are a veteran in need, make the call.
My name's Laura Marie Bigger, and I'm a Staff Sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. My MOS by trade is a bulk fueler, a 1391, but over in Iraq I went over as security and was also tasked out with the Lioness program. The training for the Lioness program when I went through was with 27 Marines. They're grunts, they do that on a daily basis. So they take those females and their best Marines come in and train us on how to search, how to question, and also how to be more comfortable up front and close with the Iraqis. There's a checkpoint and it normally funnels down so that the vehicles have to stop in a certain location, not too close to any military personnel, obviously for our protection. All members in that vehicle are then told they have to get out of the vehicle. The males would then go over to either the American males or the Iraqi police males, and they check their IDs and everything. They have actual IDs. The females have no such IDs at all. And the females would then come with me, and sometimes they try not to get out of the vehicle because they're sick or have too many children or things like that, but that's exactly when we need to search them because they might be hiding something. One of my biggest fears would be being off on the side there, searching one of those females and actually hitting a pressure switch or something that woman had placed, or maybe her husband or another male placed on her to then injure an American or another Iraqi police or something like that. I had an extreme influence over a handful of women there. They would come through on a daily basis. And the first time they had met me, they didn't necessarily know what to expect. They did what I told them because I was American and in uniform. But when they would see the Iraqi police actually listening to me and doing what I tell them, or if I tell their superior officer who's messed up or something like that, then there's actual repercussions that are followed through with. And every day that those females would come through and see me again and again and again, it was just, they were amazed and hopefully feel that I was actually putting an impression on them that someday they could be in a position where others would listen to them. And there was one other girl that, she was always in the vehicles that came through the checkpoint, and I will never forget her face. She was very pale, dark hair, but bright blue eyes. And every day she was one of those that just looked at me like I was a star. And just, even their clothing was a little bit of an American influence, which you can say is good or bad, but they still had their appropriate head coverings and everything like that. But just to see her so impressed and so intrigued by seeing Americans there helping them, that was definitely a girl I enjoyed seeing every day. My bachelor's is a biology bachelor's with a pre-medicine emphasis, and my original plan was to go into medicine and become a doctor. I'm kind of on the fence for that right now because there's so many different changes coming up with our new president. So I'm thinking of possibly going for a master's in more of an environmental biology side, something I've always been extremely interested in, and it's definitely in need right now. I have neck and back problems. A lot of the gear that we carry is quite heavy that we wear on a daily basis, so that can wear on anyone's structure. Even the 200-pound males end up having difficulties with that. So the VA's been helping me out, taking some structural x-rays just to make sure that they can help me out so nothing is long-term.
Join me in the kitchen with Chef Greg as he mixes up a healthy and easy-to-make seafood salad. We're here with Chef Greg Gonzalez from the Phoenix VA Healthcare Systems kitchen, and we're going to be cooking some crab and shrimp salad today. Greg, welcome back.
Thank you. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing well.
Okay, so here we have a cup and a half of imitation crab, a quarter cup of diced avocados, and about a quarter cup of minced cucumbers. I have canola oil, parsley, garlic, pepper, fresh tarragon, and some salt.
Okay. You mentioned that you're using imitation crab. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, the reason for the imitation crab is that it's affordable, cost-effective, great substitution versus buying real crab, and it's lean.
Okay.
Also, we have here some shrimp, raw, cleaned and deveined. So we're going to start with getting these bad boys into the bath. Now, shrimp only take a couple of minutes to cook. They cook pretty quick. In the meantime, we're going to start with putting in our imitation crab. We'll add our cucumber. And now I'm going to drizzle my canola oil all around. And we'll add our herbs, some garlic, a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of salt. And we'll give this a quick stir. and incorporate all the ingredients. And now that's done, we'll set this aside.
Okay.
We'll check on our shrimp, see if they're done. You just want to cook your shrimp until they're opaque, and these are very nice looking. All right, and now our shrimp are done, so let me get a clean container. Take these out.
Those cooked up pretty quick.
Thank you. It doesn't take long for shrimp to cook. 2 minutes, it's about the most. Otherwise, they become rubbery.
I've heard that shrimp are kind of high in cholesterol. Are they okay for this dish?
Yeah, shrimp are fine because they're low in saturated fats, so they're still heart healthy friendly.
What's next?
Okay, so what we're going to do is make a tomato cocktail vinaigrette dressing, which is light, fresh, healthy.
Sounds good.
So we're going to start with basically a large tomato that I've already peeled. And to that, we're going to add red wine vinegar.
Okay.
A little acidity. Again, I'm using canola oil.
Okay.
And that's equal parts, 1/4 of a cup.
Okay.
And here I have horseradish, fresh grated. So right now we're going to blend this. Okay, we're finished blending our dressing. So we're just going to pour it in a bowl and allow this to sit for about 20 minutes at room temperature.
Why do we do that?
This allows the flavors of the shallots, garlic, and the thyme to work and permeate through the dressing.
Oh, okay.
And then after which you'll chill it and use it when ready to serve.
This is coming along really well. It's looking really good. What do we do next?
Okay, now we're going to go ahead and finish our crab portion of the salad. And I always add my avocados last so that we don't end up over-mixing it, making it look like guacamole. That's not what we want. We just want to gingerly fold this and incorporate it into our crab mixture.
Now I know avocados are high in fat, but they're a good fat?
Yeah, they're high in monosaturated fats,
Okay.
which are better for you.
Okay.
Versus some of the other fats. All right, so once you got that mix, all you're going to do for plating is take some microgreens, just put them right here. Take a little bit of your crab mixture.
Okay.
Put it right in the center. And then you're just going to grab 2 little shrimp, place them right here in the top.
Okay.
And then take this vinaigrette cocktail dressing and drizzle it around. And there you have it.
That looks really, really good.
This dish is light and healthy and very tasty.
All right. Thanks for coming out today and showing it to us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Paul.
For more information about this recipe and other healthy eating choices, come to the Phoenix VA website at www.phoenix.va.gov. Scroll to the bottom of the page and select Resources, then click on Newsroom and Healthy Living. We may take something like composing a resume or job interview skills for granted, but for many of our homeless vets, these basic skills can mean the difference between living on the streets or finding a stable job. Susan Hall is Acting Designated Learning Officer for the Phoenix VA. I spoke with Susan about our Homeless School at Work pilot program and how the VA is helping homeless vets get back on their feet and get their lives back. The Phoenix VA has developed a unique job training opportunity for a special group of veterans. Can you tell us about it?
Absolutely. At the Phoenix VA, we have a tiered leadership program that consists of our School at Work program, which is for our entry and lower level grades. Then we advanced up to our Leadership and Training Academy, and then we move on to our Leadership and Development Institution. This program has been so successful that we were asked from the national office if we would be willing to pilot the same School at Work program for our homeless veteran program. We jumped at the opportunity. We held this pilot last year and it was very successful. Already from the program we have placed one of these participants into our working force. Another one is going through the interview process. And 3 of our programs, with our homeless veteran program, they have all very vigorously raised their hand and said, we want to be involved in the next class.
You mentioned that the program was commissioned here in Phoenix from a national level. What do you expect to happen to the program next?
I think it's going to expand and spread throughout the VA at a very rapid rate. As soon as Daniel Blackman and I completed this first pilot program, we had no less than half a dozen calls with other VISN offices asking us, how did you do it? What are the pros? What are the cons? And would you do it again? And we had an absolutely resounding yes, we are going to do it again. And we shared with them our, what we did and the problems we had and ran into. They're already looking into it and starting it themselves. We were fortunate in that our VISN office helped us smooth through some of those quirks, and so we were able to pass along those successes.
Outstanding. This program is just one part of VA's deep commitment to employee education. Can you tell us about some of the other things that are going on?
We have, as I mentioned, a very robust leadership program. Within our facility, we teach a systems redesign program which teaches all staffs how to look at our processes, look at some of the gaps and redundancies and create some efficiencies. That's done on a VISN level. We have a very robust computer information system that we are working with all of our staff, and there's thousands of courses in there that anyone can take. And then we do have a cadre of training specialists that, at a service director's request, we go out and do specialized training for everyone.
One last question going back to the Homeless School at Work program. For veterans who go through the program, what can they expect to learn?
It's very difficult getting into the government system, obtaining a job with the VA. And so what we have done is we hold classes on how to put together a resume, how to interview, how to speak, how to spell, which is very important in a resume, how to work the USA job system. We talk about how to do basic math, reading comprehension, writing. We also introduce these homeless veteran participants to some of our leadership here, and we walk them through the facility and let them shake hands and introduce themselves with our staff. Another introduction of getting into the door.
Sounds like an incredible opportunity for some of our veterans out there. Thanks for coming in and sharing it with us today.
You bet. Thank you.
That's a wrap for another episode of To Your Health. Remember, you can find more information about the topics in today's show by going online to the Phoenix VA Healthcare System website at phoenix.va.gov. I'm Paul Coupeau. Thanks for watching.